country, we say thank you for joining this program. And those in the diaspora that are here today, we're also very grateful. And to go to the big and the main guest for today, distinguished, and in fact, words are never enough to qualify you, sir. But we are grateful for Grace Education for us today, and really appreciate the effort and the time you are able to spare out of your busy schedule today. And we hope everyone else enjoys the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alex. We also have the Senate President up here. So a few words, please. Up here, Emmanuel. Is he online? No? Okay. Now, I would also like to hear a few words from our partner, the founder of EAYF, which he will tell us more about. He's partnering with us. Please welcome Mr. Jude Tochukwu. Mr. Jude?
Hello. Hi. Hello, Uchechi. Thank you. Hello, Kanayo, and everyone joining us today. Thank you, guys. I was told I could do a brief presentation about EAYF, so I prepared a few slides just to show you guys some of what we do at EAYF. Also, thank you to the SAN. I forgot to note that it's an honor to share this platform with you. And I've seen you a couple of times in court as well in Abuja, but we'll talk about that later. Thank you. And so basically, I wanted to just give a brief introduction about EAYF and what we do at EAYF. EAYF was founded in 2016, and it started in Ayoyebi University by 4 students. And our aim is to empower African youth and promote entrepreneurship amongst young Africans. Our long-term vision is to build Africa's largest network for youths and young entrepreneurs for social economic development. And then our 2 pillars are youth entrepreneurial education and capacity development, and then youth professional networking and partnership. Under these 2 pillars, we have been able to organize different initiatives such as our webinars, which are available on our YouTube page. We do webinars for young entrepreneurs, startups, and SMEs, and we invite speakers to talk about different topics ranging from marketing to Google Ads and the rest. And then we're inviting you to join our network. It's a growing network. We have over 200 members on our network group chat from different parts of the world. And then all our social media have over like 6,000 members altogether. And then the benefits of being a member is that we have some perks that are offered to our members. And then you get free access to our online events and trainings and other events that we organize. And then you can visit our website to know more about us. So sorry about our website. It's so unfortunate. This morning, it went down, but we're working on fixing it. So by noon or something, we should be back up. Thank you. And then this is just a short video about EAYF. And then when we reached out to partner with you guys, we discussed with your team. We're actually selling some of our shirts to raise funds for the foundation. And these are very quality shirts we've made. We took our time to design them with deep meanings. The whole design has meanings and all. And when you buy one shirt, it's 7,000, you stand a chance to win over 100K in EAYF SME fund. So if you're interested, I'll share the link on the chat, and then you can buy a shirt. It will be delivered to you in any part of Nigeria. And they are very good quality shirts. So enough of EAYF. I wanted to introduce myself, which I have not done since. Hello, meet Jude. And that is me there. I am the founder of Empowered African Youth Foundation. As I earlier stated, I started it with 4 of my classmates in Ayoyebi University. I am a lawyer, I'm a business analyst, a digital marketer, and social entrepreneur. I graduated from Afe Babalola University with a degree in law in 2017. And I also practiced at Olujumi and Akeredolu SAN from 2017 to 2019. And then I interned at Goji Uche also, and Chris Uche. I recently graduated from Holt International Business School, Boston, with an MSc in International Business. And I'm currently enrolled at Harvard Business School for certification in Harvard in business analytics. My skills include legal practice, arbitration, business analysis, digital marketing, and international business. As a person, I have a personal ambition, which is to become successful and empower others to be successful. During my free time, I enjoy playing video games, taking hikes and long walks. I also read, but these are the main three things I love to do. And then you can connect with me on LinkedIn. That's my LinkedIn profile, Tochukwu Jude AK. I'm always very active on my LinkedIn. And then on a closing note, I know the SCN is going to say a lot to you guys today, and many of you have joined to get empowered and to learn new things. But I wanted to say something. In order to succeed, we must first believe that we can. This is a very true statement. So whatever the SN is going to say today, it still boils down to the fact that you have to believe first in yourself and believe that you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. And that is the first success tip you need as a legal practitioner. And then on that note, I say thank you. And we are social. You can follow us on any of our social media platforms. Thank you very much, Kanayo and Alex and Uchechi for the platform. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jude, for the detailed information. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So we will now want to introduce our special guest. Could you share the screen, please, Jude? Okay, our guest speaker is a very distinguished Mr. Oyetola M is a managing partner of one of the leading law firms in Nigeria, law firm. He's also in charge of government business practice as well as litigation, national dispute resolution, maritime law, amongst others. We have a detail from Boshun Village, Oyo local government area of Para States. He's currently of practice of the firm.
Sorry about that. I feel she has network issues, but she'll be back with us in a few minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry. So yes, project and corporate finance, privatization, general corporate governance, compliance, obtaining practice licenses and approval by regulatory services. In July of 2019, last year, the Legal Practitioners Privileges Committee announced that Mr. Ayoyebi and 37 other lawyers would be conferred with the most coveted rank of the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, SAN. This title have practiced for not less 10 years. For one so young and have achieved distinction in the profession with this. Mr. Ayoyebi has now become the youngest ever Nigerian lawyer to be elevated to that. So please welcome the SAN who has graced this occasion to educate us the theme, which is aspiring lawyers, key tips on how to be outstanding legal practitioners. Sir.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. What's her name? I forgot to get it. Uche, right? Madam Uche.
Yes.
Uchechi.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I apologize. I didn't get your name. I apologize. Thank you so much. Ogaju, don't worry. I know where I met you from already, from the names that you have called. And I'm sure when you saw me in court, I can really tell from those names anyways. And of course, to the lecturers, the dean, the professors, my learned colleagues, well, and also my learned colleagues in equity. Thank you so much for having me. I feel so privileged and honored each time I'm invited for programs like this. And sometimes I wonder that I really don't know what you guys expect to hear, but I'll try my best to say what I can say so that at least all of us can share together. And then please feel free. I also tell people that we are on all social media platforms. If you want to talk to me, it's easier that way. You can always reach out to me. And then if you have other questions beyond this event, you can always speak. To Mr. Jude, thank you for the platform. I really believe that we all need to do things together for the future of this profession, and we all need to brighten our corners. What I tell most people is, if you hold on to your end and I hold on to my end, it makes the whole place well lit. And, you know, it takes all of us to be able to do what we have to do. And I also must say to everybody, being an SAN might not really be an ultimate, and in all honesty. And I say that with all sense of respect and humility to people. And I say what is most important is know what you want. Maybe I've even started my talk from here. Know what you want and do you. What is most important, and I'm sure maybe it's part of what I'm going to say, know what exactly you want. If you want to be a professor, or you want to be on the street like us, or you want to be on the bench, do you, and ensure that you're the best in it. And my own story is just simple. I honestly never wanted to be a lawyer. It was picked for me. I never, if you asked me, then that's not what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a doctor, medical doctor actually, but because my dad said I don't have the brain for it. But what, now the question is, what spurred me into being a lawyer? My mom just told me, oh, I went to meet my mom. I said, your husband said I should not study what I want to study. And she looked at me, poor boy. Well, even though you cannot be a doctor, go and be the best you can be in the art class. And art class, what she felt was good enough that I could be the best in is law. And that's how I found myself in legal practice. And I say to people that, imagine myself that never wanted to be a lawyer and applying myself to it. And eventually, I probably am here. How much more so many other persons, or you that you're listening to me that wants to be a lawyer? I feel that you have an added advantage over me, right? Because of the fact that that's what you want to do. So I expect you to be able to give it all the best, all the efforts in the world. And interestingly, what we have nowadays is that we have a lot of millennials, and they say, well, I appreciate their entitlement mentality. Of course, I'm part of a millennial. And by the way, I'm 35 years old. And so whatever is happening to 35 years old anywhere in the world that you know is also happening to me. The only difference is probably maybe I've done a bit of work. But you know, The added advantage we have as millennials is the fact that we have time on our hands. We can apply ourselves and show the world a difference. And that's really what it's all about. Moderator, I'm going to try and share my screen. Let me hope I'll be able to do that so that I can just get on with this. Just a second, I'll just try and share my screen. 1 second, and then I'll bring everybody so that I can show you what I have prepared for today. So please, once I'm speaking and you have your questions, please let me know so that I can really address it as fast as possible. Okay, so Lawsan Advocacy Club at Adeleke University, aspiring lawyers, key practice tips to make an outstanding legal practitioner. So this is what I have. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's for me a singular honor and privilege to be in this noble gathering today. Thank you for your invitation. There are so many lawyers in Nigeria. In fact, the competition for the market is not restricted to Nigerian lawyers because foreign firms are also involved. This said, success in the legal industry has to be intentional. I will present a few tips on how a lawyer can succeed. There are lots of variables when discussing the issues of success. Here are a few constants. And what we're talking about is key practice tips to make an outstanding legal practitioner. And I tell people that what we're doing here, trust me, in Nigeria, at least one or two other persons are having this conversation on how you can be an outstanding legal practitioner. And maybe ours is, we'll have about 20 people or so here today. But a lot of people will hear a number of things. I'm not sure how many people will use them. So, first one is set clear goals for yourself. Like I mentioned to us, some people want to be professors. Some people, or maybe let's say lecturer. Some people want to be in-house counsel. Some people want to be on the street. What I mean by on the street is, I don't know, people that are not doing corporate practices anyways. And of course, some people want to do corporate practices. Others might also want to be on the bench. But I tell people that in my journey to become what I am today, I got offered an employment in, if you mention the first two banks, in fact, in Nigeria, I got employment twice there. And I said no. And one of my aunties said that the village course that's been following me, that I should take it far away from my house because I've got the best opportunities in the world and I was squandering it. In fact, I also got an admission scholarship to study somewhere in the UK for 2 years. And I declined it because the goals I had would be at variance with that. It will mean coming back to Nigeria and starting all over again. And I'm sure some of the people here would have heard me say that. But you know what it means to me is that having a clear goal. It's sometimes life is a gamble, and this is us being as truthful as possible. I could have done all these things and did not work well. And I also understand the fact that in my place, they say the monkey is sweating, but because of on the body, nobody would know.
It will seem that he's having
network, I guess.
yeah, technical issues. Yes, yes. Please, we apologize. But stay tuned. I'm sure he'll be back soon.
Madam Moderator, I apologize, please. You know the way network is in Nigeria.
We
Please, I
understand.
apologize.
We
I
understand.
apologize, everybody. Please forgive me. I apologize. I apologize. Okay, so I was saying that it is after a clear goal has been set that a person can begin to strategize on how to achieve that goal. This will help the lawyer to be focused, avoiding distractions. I was working in a law firm while I was studying in the university, Adeleke SAN now and co. And while I was with him in Kwara State, University of Ilorin, in my 400 level, we had a visit to my brother Silk now, Prince Lateef Fagbemi. And the conversation, I wasn't in their meeting, but of course I was his PA, his oddly, everything, right? I was working then with them in the office as litigation secretary and library assistant. And so after the meeting, he looked back at me and said, not too many lawyers in this age, or not too many people can set goals and achieve them, and not too many people can put their mind on something for 10 years and get it. And that was in 2006. I was called in 2008. And I said, what is that? He said, the only living legend that they have is Prince Lateef Fagbemi SAN, who got SAN at 10 years. And it was because he focused on the profession. And so I said to myself, when I become a lawyer, I will pursue that course. That was 2 years before I became a lawyer. I became a lawyer in 2008. I set the goal in 2006. And so, and every other thing did not matter to me. The goal I set was do this 10 years, give to them, let's see what it is. And all of this mattered to me, and of course was important to whatever thing I wanted to do. Second point is find a mentor. In all of this that I've said to you, I have two main mentors. No, I have a couple of mentors anyways. But in the profession, I have two main ones. Ayoyebi SAN and my brother, Kehinde Ogunmiju, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. And I just wanted to be like them. And like I say to people, I know a couple of my friends that want to be like my Lord, the CGN, former CGN or past CGN. So many of them that want to be like my Lord, President of the Court of Appeal. So many of them just want to be justices or judges of the trial courts. And for them, they follow their lives around their mentors. I know a lot of people that also want to be company secretaries, career civil servants. And what is important is find a mentor in that line that you can follow and that can guide you. In fact, I also tell people that there's a lady called Mian SAN. I knew her since 2009. She became SAN, I think, about that time. And the first time I ever spoke to her was, I think, 3 months ago. And she was part of the list of my mentors, but we never met. I was just only following the things that she was doing, cases she was doing, how she comported herself, you know. And I said to myself, if a woman can do it, then it's a challenge for me. I also can do it. And it was more of like somebody I was following to be my mentor. And so all of us, we need to have mentors. After a clear goal has been set, a lawyer can look for a mentor that has excelled in that area. It is easier to ask someone who has gone to a place for direction than to depend on finding the path by chance. There should be close relationship between the mentor and the lawyer, if you can, and sometimes it's not possible anyways, but then of course, ensure that you know your mentors and what they do. A mentor also helps to build a network of a lawyer. Acquire and master practical legal skills. Communication is basic skill set that a lawyer needs. Advocacy and drafting are the subsets of good communication skills. Although the issue of front loading is gradually eroding the art and science of good advocacy. Good advocacy should be structured, succinct, and engaging. Drafting is an extension of good oral communication skills. A document that is drafted should be clear, unambiguous, and free from legalese. The drafter should bear in mind that he may not be accessible to the reader to clarify ambiguity. Finally, rules of interpretation should be borne in mind. That is, the drafter should consider how the court had interpreted certain words in the past. I'm sure we all know lawyers that we speak, and I hope that I'm not stepping on anybody's toes now. I'm sure we all know lawyers that will speak better English for you. You know, English that you have to go and look for dictionary to check. It's also good though, once in a while to do that. But sometimes the best English in this profession is primary school English. I used to recommend for older people here would know this book. I used to recommend for all my lawyers a book called Brighter Grammar. It's just basic English. If I write something and I need you to call me to come and interpret it to you, then I honestly haven't communicated to you. And that's very important. You need to know that basic English is what distinguishes you, or what makes you, understood. Yes, for paparazzi's sake, we can begin to speak like the, I think the senator, the chief of staff of Edo State. I'm sure all of us know him, you know, and then you need to look for a dictionary to interpret that. But of course, for the subject of being a lawyer that is outstanding, please forgive me. I apologize. I think this, let me just quickly go. It's as if my time is almost up. Okay. Sorry, I was talking about time. It is scarce because we do not have the luxury to do all we want to do. While we do not have the luxury of time to do all we want to do, it's sufficient to do all you need to do. This means that you must set priorities. Every possible distraction is an opportunity cost. Each step taken should be a brick properly laid for building edifice of your goal. And because I wanted to do, okay, so I gave this example, I think a couple of days ago. Jack Ma, what's the name of that? Alibaba. Anyways, said, and you guys can Google his company anyways. One of these webinars he did and I was listening on, he mentioned that his office or his company is 18 years old, but that the work that they've done is that of 78 years old. So they compressed a lifetime of a company into 18 years, which meant that they were working round the clock. And now this is personal experience for me. What I did, which most times I don't tell people, is the fact that my sleeping hours in a day is only 3 hours. A lot of people will just think somebody's crazy from somewhere, and I say that's okay by me. I had to cut down, and I don't watch TV, by the way. I don't watch football, Telemundo, anything that you call it that will distract me. I just wanted to ensure that I compressed the number of hours I had in the day to be able to do what I want to do. And I don't recommend it for anybody anyways, because it's usually going to be as if people will think you're crazy. I don't watch movies, by the way. And all that is because of the fact that I had a goal I wanted to meet. And I tell people, how many hours in a day do you actually really work? In all honesty, or how many hours in a day do you actually really study? If you count the number of hours you're using to eat, number of hours you use to chat with people, number of hours you use to play, maybe your productive hours in a day will probably be 6 hours. Why not increase it to 7 hours or 8 hours or 9 hours or 10 hours? Well, of course, some of us were able to push ourselves to at least 20 hours. 20 productive hours actually in a day. So imagine somebody that is doing 20 productive hours a day and somebody that is doing 6 productive hours in a day. There's no rocket science. The person that is doing 20 productive hours will have more things to hold on to than somebody that is doing 6 productive hours in a day. It's for you to work out what makes you happy. I've heard a number of people tell me work-life balance. I say, no problem. What makes you happy is what makes you happy. What makes me happy is what makes me happy. And so I decided to compress my 24 hours, make sure 20 out of it is actually really productive for me. The remaining 4 is in between eating, sleeping, and probably, I don't know what else. The other hours must be productive. It looks like rocket science, but really you can try it. Make sure, in fact, when I was in school, there were a few topics that were quite really hard. And there were really few topics that were easy, or courses now. So when my head is clear, I read those courses that are really tough. When my head becomes faint, getting tired, I use another book to relax. And that's how I try to do it. And of course, whatever it is, it's just for you to understand what works for you. Create a wide range of reasonable network. It's important to cultivate relationships, both professional and personal relationships. Both are very important. If you are aspiring to attain the rank of an SAN or a judge or corporate lawyer, you need to have a healthy relationship with your colleagues. As John Donne said, no man is island entire of itself. It will also be important to have a good network outside of your profession, because that is usually an untapped client base for lawyers. Many lawyers relate with only lawyers. That is not healthy at all. Both sets of network are very important. By the way, I play golf. I was secretary of the golf club for 2 years. That's IBB. And I understand that all of these things contributed to being productive. Maintain your integrity at all times. Integrity is the foundation of your character. It enhances all other values and beliefs in which you hold. This goes way beyond your ethical duties prescribed by your bar association. It is about being honest, and taking responsibility. You know, sometimes a lot of times I tell people, when you're not there, your character and your integrity will speak for you. And I keep telling people, you see, whoever you are to me as your friend, when you come around and do stuff, the day we are enemies or the day we are not being friendly, people will know that that's what you will do to them. And it's just integrity. If you're not constant, you're not constant. If you're constant, you're constant. That's the way it is. And if you understand that, it takes you it takes you way beyond average person. Be creative and adapt to change. So there's build to adapt and there is build to last. I think it trended about a month ago of a bridge that was built sometime and then the water does not pass under the bridge again, passes by the side. You need to know whether you are trying to adapt or you're trying to last. And you know, what is important is you need to be able to adapt to anything. The landscape of the law is changing very fast. COVID-19 pandemic is a catalyst in this change. For us in the office, currently we're doing virtual internship for over 40 students, lawyers and non-lawyers alike. And we're trying to let them know what it is that will happen in the next 15 years in the profession, because there's a projection already. And you know, you need to know, COVID-19 has now brought out those things that will actually happen in the next 15 years in the legal practice, so that you're not be living a life of 15 years ago. Somebody was saying an example, I think yesterday, I was at a Lawsan event, and I think somebody mentioned that the notes that some of the lecturers still use, they were the notes that they used when they were teaching them. I know there might be a few lecturers here. I'm not particularly saying anything, but please, we need to adapt to change. And people listening to us, they need to know that the law is moving. And it's only when you also develop yourself that you will be able to pass across messages or pass a different thing to people. And thank God, lecturers are not restricted, right? And of course, students also are not restricted. You need to start learning, apart from the box that they are all teaching us, we need to start thinking outside that box. It will be foolhardy to continue things the usual way. A lawyer must see opportunities where others see problems and threat. Where others see ways, a lawyer should see an opportunity to solve. A lawyer has to be creative to carve a niche for himself and have his own brand. Creativity also spills over into the experience given to a client. It is not simply enough to do the right thing for the client. A lawyer must look for a way to give the client the wow experience. Use technology to your advantage. Technology has become part of every profession. You either create one or learn how to use one. As the world moves at the speed of light, you need to be abreast. You need to abreast yourself with technological trends. I don't know what that is. I apologize. So as not to be left behind. But what is important is, if not for technology, I would not be seeing all the people that I'm seeing here. You know, you guys will not be in your different homes. Like the moderator said, some people are abroad connecting to this event. I will not be seeing them. You know, so we all need to know how to use technology. Conclusion. It is the rain that grows the crops, not the thunder. Be open to learning and consistently seek better ways of doing things. Set a benchmark for yourself and continuously review and self-evaluate yourself periodically. Putting these into action is very important, because what separates winners from losers is just action. Gentlemen, I thank you all for listening. God bless. Back to you, Uchechi.
Thank you so much, sir. This was very lovely and very concise. I see that there are no questions in the chat box, which makes me assume that we all absorbed everything as it was well broken down, and there was no Cambridge or Harvard English, just normal, brighter grammar, standard English. Thank you very much, sir, for breaking it down. But I want to ask, because yes, we are, at least most of us here on this platform are lawyers of equity. So is there are there these practice tips? Are there ways we can break it? I don't want to say break it down, but like for an undergrad student, then a law school student, do these tips apply specifically to just graduates? I remember you saying that, yes, you set your goal in 2006 before you graduated, but when it comes to not all, a few of these tips, are there not some that are more pertinent to undergrad students as opposed to graduate lawyers?
Okay, so for all that I've told you is both for undergrads and graduates. So first, set a goal for yourself. If you want to be a first-class student, please set your goals for yourself to be a first-class student, right? If it's possible, you meet it. If not, find a mentor. It's easier for somebody that has gotten a first class to mentor you to be a first class. And of course, in and out of whether you're a graduate or none, it could, be helpful for you. Acquire master practical legal skills. For me, it's even much more important for undergrads to be able to do that, because it shows, I'm sure, I'm not sure whether in your school you guys do internship, but while I was in school, I did internship and it exposed me to the practical side of the legal profession. And it made me to choose whether I wanted to be, I had options of being a judge, I had options of being an in-house counsel, and I had options of being on the street like now. And I chose being on the street. So those, manage your time is for everybody. You need to be able to manage your time. Lectures is between 8 to 4. My own practical example, lecture starts, I went to University of Learning, lecture starts at 8 sometimes. But my standard waking up time is, 5 o'clock in the morning. And between 5 and 7:30, I am reading. Then 7:30 to 8, I dress up and I go to class. I don't eat breakfast, and most times don't eat lunch anyways, so that I get alert and I am steady, I am focused, I know what I'm doing. 4 o'clock, I eat lunch. 4:30, I'm most likely back to the hostel. I sleep between 4:30 and 6. 6, I am out. Whatever it is I'm doing, I take 1 hour nap anyway. 6, I'm out. I read between 6 and 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. every day. 3:30, I'm meant to go back to bed, but I sleep 3:30 and I wake up 5 o'clock. And so manage your time. For me, interestingly, maybe a lot of you see life as easy. I was told when I entered university I was not going to graduate. So I said, okay, since they've already predicted that I will not graduate in the university, I'll give all the time in the world to being in the university. And I increased the number of hours of time I was reading. Create a wide range of reasonable network. Meet as many people as possible that can give you jobs even after you finish your school, or people that can teach you what you need to know. Maintain your integrity. If you are lying now, when you become a lawyer, you will still be lying. And your classmates will know. If you have integrity, I apologize, if you're carrying Orijo, or how do you guys call it? Those ones are private to all of you. But if you do all those, they already know. So imagine somebody that I apologize saying this, if they already know this person does not have integrity, and they meet you at the negotiation table 5 years down the line, you think they will think you're an important or serious person. They already know that this guy is coming here to cheat us. And that's it. And all of these tips, be creative and adapt to change. You need to begin to think of what the next cycle of the profession will be. They are really much more, well, you can use it both ways, either you're in school or out of school. I hope moderator Uchechi was able to answer your question.
Yes, very well. Thank you. We have a question here from G. Idris. It says, welfare of young lawyers about poor payments. Can he address it? I don't. This doesn't exactly.
Okay. No. It's not a problem. I'm sure a lot of people fear that when they finish, will they be paid? Would their remuneration be good or bad? So my answer to you is just value. If a lawyer, a graduate, is not valuable to me, I will not pay you well. Simple. There's no. Is this thing still working? I don't know if you can hear me. If you're not valuable to me, I won't pay you well. I have a lawyer in my office as we speak. She's just 2 years at the bar. She's earning more than people that are 4 or 5 years at the bar because she's useful to me. And I determine the value a person brings to the table. If you do not bring a value to me, I have a lawyer here also about 6 years post-call, and she earns more than people that are older than him. Or he earns more than people that are older than him because of the value he's bringing to the table. So, sir, whoever is asking the question, if you're not bringing any value to the table, trust me, nobody will pay you well. And I also need to say to you, imagine someone that graduates with a first class in law school, graduates first class in university. Do you honestly think I will pay him pay that person the same amount with somebody that graduates with a third class law school, third class university? You will never get the same thing. Real practical things, right? So I think for all of us, we should worry about the value we're creating as against worrying about money. If you create so much value, then trust me, money is settled. And for me, money had never been, and I keep telling everybody, money is not my priority till today. It's the level of value that I give to you that I expect for you to be able to give back to me. Then the question is, what if you're giving value and the person does not see it? Then that means you're not giving the value the person wants. I keep telling people that if you go to a market, if you go to a booker and you ask them for rice and stew, and the chef gives you pounded yam and egusi, and of course the effort, for those of you that can cook, efforts to cook pounded yam, to pound yam and do egusi is way more than efforts to cook rice and stew. But the guy just wants rice and stew. So if you're working in a place and you're giving them pounded yam and egusi, trust me, it's really no value to anybody. The guy only wants rice and stew. So please learn the value that you need to give and give the value. Any other question for me, Madam? I'll moderate over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Hello, I have a question. I wanted to say, nice presentation. Thank you very much, SAN. And I learned a lot from your presentation. It was very insightful. And my question basically is, I went through your LinkedIn profile and I noticed that you have some expertise in information technology, cybersecurity, and fintech. So I wanted to ask, based on your experience, what do you think the position of the law is in regards to, providing for these new areas? Because take for example, online learning. It has become the wave of everything, like all around the world and everything. So how are laws adapting to these changes? And is there a possibility for, a greener area or greener pastures for lawyers in this field, like AI, fintech, and the rest? Thank you.
Okay, sir. My brother Jude. I don't know how to go about this. Okay, so you see, the practical law, or the law that we have as today, will change in another 10, 15 years. And even if you sit down in your house or, I don't know, in your office, and you think about what will be practical, I'll tell you an example. When I was in secondary school, I remember the best job that people were doing was working in the banks. That was when all the Zenith Bank, GTP, you know, they were the ones paying. So everybody was changing their courses from whatever you were doing to banking. And this was how many years ago? 10, 15 years ago. At some point, for those older people might know, there was a time that everybody wanted to be a medical doctor. These things are changing. Now, let's even say we are caught up in being lawyers. And you already know, you can take a cue from advanced countries, the UK, the US, China, Russia. Everything now is about artificial intelligence. Everything is about robotics. Everything is about drones. And unfortunately, you know, the world will move forward before Nigerians catch up with it. And that's the unfortunate place that we're in. And imagine, my brother, you'll be shocked to know that Google is in Nigeria, Facebook is in Nigeria. Call any tech company that you're talking about, they're in Nigeria. And they have lawyers they're working with. And sometimes they are not Nigerians, they are Oyinbos. And they're taking, and those guys are taking $5,000 per month or $10,000, some $15,000. And so why can't I sit down? If that is what I want, why won't I just, since I already know that's what it is, then I begin to ensure that that's what I'm learning. And then if I want to be an in-house counsel for them, I negotiate. You give me $15,000. $10,000 today is 4-point-something million. $15,000, man, that's about 7 million naira. Not too many lawyers are earning that in Nigeria. But how many lawyers know about financial technology, robotics, space law, name it? And what I've now been able to, for us in the office, because we do all those, what we now do is we're trying to impact into students or lawyers in equity or lawyers themselves. And that's why we're doing our own internship program that relates with, and all of you can connect with us on all our social media platforms to see what we're doing, you know, as regards all these new areas of practice, which is what will happen in another 10, 15 years. Another 10, 15 years, going to regular court might not really happen. And that's why you have alternative to dispute resolution. A lot of people sit in office and settle their differences. Now we're talking about virtual hearings for courts. You can sit in your library. I mean, my library, I can be attending to any case in the world. And people are beginning to do it successfully. So for me, all of us can sit down. And, you know, I was told that if you watch all these new science fiction movies, then you ordinarily, honestly will know where the world is going, which is the truth. Oyinbo will not tell you what is not going to happen. They're actually telling you, trying to psych you up to say this is where the world is going to be. And we need, as young people, and I believe that all of us are here and we know that we're going to take over this profession, but you need to be, like I mentioned, strategically put yourself in a place where you are creative and you can adapt to change, or you can be the one to create your own future. I hope it answers your question, Jude. Uchechi, over to you.
Sorry, I wanted to say where I was coming from was like from your position as with this experience, do you think that the laws are going to adapt to these changes? Like, take for example, I don't know how strong, because I know it was in 2011 that they introduced electronic evidence through the Evidence Act. So stuff like that. For example, you conduct a webinar or something and someone defraud someone via the webinar or something like that, or you organize an online meeting and it's a fraudulent meeting. How do you, enforce something like that in court? And maybe looking at AI now, companies that are doing AI, how can we enforce ethical AI and the rest? That's what I'm asking. Like, do you think, because I know Nigeria is a country that it takes us 20 years to get to where the world has gone 100 years. So as a lawyer in this field, what do you think? What are your predictions, in that regard? Thank you.
Okay, so the laws are beginning to change, and I'm aware that there's a data protection law in Nigeria, 2019. I don't know if you've seen it. Like you said, Evidence Act 2011. actually allowed electronic evidence. And this is how many years ago? 9 years ago. So our laws as it is, and guess what? We have a constitution that says that your rights are protected, fundamental human rights. I'm writing about robotics, rights of the robotics. And I've been able to link it to the constitution because our laws as it is wide enough to accommodate a number of all of these things. And if you remember the last judgment that came up, because Supreme Court did not particularly deal with it as to virtual hearing, they said any judge that does not sit virtually or chooses to say is not sitting virtually, NJC should prosecute the person. And so, as it is, virtual sittings, all these our new innovations as to robotics or artificial intelligence or AI is already entrenched in our laws. And trust me, NOTAPS is there, National Office for Technology, something. Well, I know them as NOTAPS, right? They are in charge of technology. You have what you call it, a number of agencies that are ensuring. In fact, I know that the National Space Regulation Agency, they are trying to pass their new act that is dealing with issues as regards expanding the laws. So trust me, all the laws are beginning to expand. And with you and I beginning to speak on them and beginning to be able to understand this process, then we can advise those regulators, regulating agencies on what to do. And I'm sure that, yes, Nigeria can be slow sometimes, but trust me, when it comes to our survival, we are not slow, right? And then I'm sure with these few laws that I already mentioned, is encapsulated, we are making provision for what the future is going to be. I hope, Jude, I've answered the question now.
Yes, you have. You have. Thank you very much.
Moderator, over to you, please, Madam Moderator.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your contribution, Jude, and also Mr. Jimo Idris. Thank you very much, Mr. Ayoyebi, for your very concise and explanatory presentation. Just to run down the tips, he said, set clear goals, find a mentor, acquire and master practical legal skills, manage your time, essential. Create a wide range of research network, maintain your integrity at all times, all times. Be creative and adapt change. Use technology to your advantage. There is no way we can say we have not benefited from this, and we're very grateful, sir. And also one thing that really caught my attention was the do you. Because I remember when you were saying you said for like 3 hours and you had 20 productive hours, and in my head I was like, But the most essential thing is find what works for you and then stick with it, which is what we learned today, if nothing else. Find what works for you and then stick with it. So I hope that we have all learned something, and we are very grateful to you. So grateful to our partner, Mr. Jude. Please endeavor to follow the social media pages of EAYF, also of the SAN Omaplex law firm on Instagram, LinkedIn, I think. I don't know if they have a Twitter account, but also EAYF has numerous accounts. So please check them out. Buy the t-shirts for EAYF. It's for a very good cause, and you also stand a chance of winning 100K. Thank you very much. So with this, okay, Jude has put the link. Well done, Jude. So, President, is there anything you have for us? Prosper.
Thank you very much. So we are very, very, very grateful to such an insightful section with you, and I trust we gained a lot from you. Over to you, Alex.
Sir, thank you very much, sir, for the wonderful presentation. But before we leave today, sir, your firm conducted a competition, legal tech competition, some few months ago, and our faculty, we had some participants that enrolled for the competition, and we came first place. So Now that we are all here today, I would like a representative from that participated at the competition to say a few words on how our experience was, and also show our appreciation to you on the whole program. Tony, please, if you are here right now, just say a few words, please.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon to my colleagues. It's nice seeing everybody again after a long break. Thank you so much, sir, for this session. Every time we hear you speak, every time I hear you speak, it's always wisdom, insight dropping. You're always dropping bars for us to take home and to just ponder upon. The Omaplex competition, the Legal Tech competition, happened about 2 months ago. I think it was in July. And although it was easy because I had a very good team, I had one of the best teams I've ever worked with. They were very easy to put together, to say, come together, let's have a meeting, let's rub minds together. But it was quite challenging because of the fact that we had quarantine and having meetings online, people were not always available at the same time, but we made it work. And it was very insightful. One thing I enjoyed about it was that I kept on learning new things. I was just in 200 level when I started the competition, when I said I was going to partake in competition. And I didn't know so much about law. I had just learned the basics. There may be Nigerian legal system, all the basics. But the fact that I had a good team and I was able to do my research, and to my delight, we were able to win. We got first. And it was just exciting knowing that, okay, we have done this. And just knowing that, okay, if this is possible, so many more is possible. And it doesn't matter your class, it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter what you know or what you don't. Yeah, we should be always very open to learn new things because nobody knows everything and learning is constant. You grow, you learn every day. So it was nice working with my team. I don't know if they're available. Opia Emmanuel, Jason Joba, Leonard Adejimo, and Elias Ayobami. I look forward to working with them. I look forward to interning. Although I was not able to intern with this last set because I had some issues come up and I didn't have time for that. But I look forward to interning maybe years in the future and working together with the firm. Thank you once again, everybody. Yeah.
So thank you very much, sir. I just wanted to allow her speak because it was actually a big one for the faculty to win that the competition. I just want to show our appreciation to you, sir. Over to you, Shay. Or if you have anything you want to say, sir, to us concerning.
So thank you to everybody for tuning in. This has been wonderful, informative. We have officially come to the end of this maiden edition of the Adeleke University Lawsan Advocacy Club webinar. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much, everyone. Have a nice day.